Hey guys, it's Carter with Culper Precision, and today we're with TekMat, and I want to talk to you about what to look for in a stipple and the different kinds of stipple. With stipple, anyone thinks that they can do it, right? You all have those guys where you see like, oh, I just bought a soldering iron and a Dremel and I think I'm gonna stipple my gun. That's great and all, but if you don't pay attention to the details, you can ruin a gun pretty quick doing it. And so I'm just kind of wanting to tell you like what to look for and what to watch out for. The main thing is consistency of the stipple. So you want a little bit of different variation in your stipple. You don't want it all uniform. So that's my biggest thing. Like I hate when stipple is like all straight, like all the dots are like straight and in a pattern. I hate it. I like my stipple to be super random. Another thing to look for is borders. Like if you look at it and the gun just has like these crazy borders and nothing straight, that's a big sign that the person probably didn't know what they were doing. And that's the biggest thing when you're going with someone who's a professional, is you want to look at their borders and their consistency and see how that is, because that'll tell you a lot about the stipple. The biggest thing is actual framework. So the frame prep, and like if you look at the undercuts and the indexing cuts, and if they look jaggedy and ugly, that they're not taking the time to do it right. And so like if it's a nice, super cool, polished, even job, that's what I would be looking for if I were taking my gun to have it stippled. Here at Culper Precision, we do two types of stipple. We do a hand stipple, which is with a soldering iron, and we have hundreds of different bit options and textures. And then we have our laser stipple. And basically the pros and cons of laser stipple versus hand stipple is laser stipple is a lot easier to do production. So we can put a lot of different guns in and we just throw it under the laser, and we already have the program, and so we lay it in there. And that way we can get a really good budget-friendly stipple. Like we're running anywhere from $75 to $120 to stipple a laser stipple a Glock at Culper. Whereas your hand stipples, they start at $150, because we're sitting there paying some guy to individually hand lay each dot into the gun, and it takes time and money. But the pros of doing the hand stipple are the polymer, when you're hand stippling, is actually pushing up. So that's why it feels a little bit more aggressive, because you're melting that polymer and pushing it up, instead of the laser, it's just taking the material away. So one of our most common stipples is like this, this fine stipple right here. So the technique here is he's taking a single bit and he's individually laying each one of these dots in this. It takes him forever, but he loves doing it. And then we have a couple different of our duty stipple patterns. This one is kind of the same pattern. The bit's just a little bit bigger, so it doesn't take as long. So it's a little bit cheaper. And then we have like this one where the bit's a lot bigger. And so we can get this one knocked out pretty quick. I think these are like 150. And then we have like our Lotus stipple, which is like a flower pattern that he's doing. And so he's laying each of them in a flower. This one takes him a decent amount of time, but it turns out super cool. If you want to try something crazy, we can definitely do it, and our stipple guy's a wizard with it. I mean, we just did this one over here where he's actually drawing out these pictures and hand laying all of this stipple into a crazy theme gun. This is our John Wick gun, where you have, you know, Keanu Reeves right there. And he's doing all this by hand, no laser, so it's pretty cool, and he loves doing it. So we have a couple different guns in the works right now. This is one that we'll show later on as well in a video, but we have a Deadpool one coming up. We have a Sasquatch theme gun. We love doing these theme jobs with all of these guns. It's really fun, and we'll showcase them later in later videos.